a dream you can cheat architecture into impossible shapes. The infinite staircase. See?
Welcome once again, my fellow manipulators of digital fate. I'm Richie, this is Capricorn, and today we're back at it with another standard deck tech straight out of Edge of Eternity standard, and this one was absolutely destroying the ladder non-stop. Now, if you watched any of my early access deck techs, we did do a mono black aristocrat sacrifice style deck during early access, but I have fine-tuned it, I've made it Orzhov, and the deck is just way better now. Mainly thanks to Sir Vondam's Sunstar Exemplar. This deck is called Infinite Expanse, and we're just going absolutely nuts, turning sacrifice decks up to 11, getting all of the value in the world out of Sir Vondam, out of Sephiroth. We even fit in one Sothera, the Supervoid, into this deck, and we've got a bunch of other new cards, one of which I haven't seen anybody else use yet, but I think is absolutely crucial to a deck like this, and I just think this deck is amazing. I think this is probably going to be one of the better decks in the new meta. Tier 1 for sure. I don't know if this is the exact final version. We'll continue to tinker with it over time. Let me know if there are any cards we overlooked that you think absolutely deserve a slot in this deck, because I do think there's some room for tinkering, but this deck is insane. Like, this absolutely crushed the ladder all night long. I think we played like 20 games, over 20 games, and only lost like 3 or 4 times. Just absolutely nuts. Before we break down the deck and then get into the gameplay, please like this video. It helps me get it out to more people. It helps the channel grow. If you've been watching my videos for a while, you know the spiel. But I do appreciate you guys that hit that like button. It helps more than you could possibly imagine. And if you're new here, make sure you subscribe, because we've got deck techs dropping every single day. And I'm in the middle of working on some pretty crazy ones. I've got a Mardu Humans Tribal deck that's mostly Humans Tribal, but it's got a nice spicy twist into it. It's going to be pretty nuts. I've got a new Bant Artifact 𝐒𝐫𝐴𝐻 Mockingbird deck with some of the new cards that just turn it up to 11. We've got some pretty crazy ideas. I've got a Genova deck on the way that uses new cards. I think it's going to be Abzan. We're working on so much. Is it Artifact Aggro? Turbo Pinnacle, I think I call it. We've got some crazy stuff. So look forward to the decks. We're going to dive right in. Before we do, please like, please subscribe, do the thing. Catch me live Monday through Friday over on Twitch. That's twitch.tv/QuarantineCapricorn. Because if I'm alive and I'm breathing, I'm there and I'm streaming. Let's dive in. Alright, so this deck is actually looking super sick. We already messed around in early access with a mono black aristocrat style sacrifice deck, but I think honestly Orzhov is where it's at, and mostly because of one crazy new card, and that's Sir Vondam's Sunstar Exemplar, a 2/2 legendary human knight for 2 mana in the colors of Orzhov. He's got Vigilance, he's got Menace. Whenever another creature you control dies or is put into exile, put a +1/+1 counter on him and gain a life. And also when he dies or is put into exile, while its power is 4 or greater, you get to destroy up to 1 target non-land permanent. This card just does everything, and it might be one of the most overlooked cards, at least for me, during spoiler season. It just gets bigger and bigger and bigger. One thing I want to point out about this card is because it triggers off of things dying or being put into exile, it has built-in protection against any of the exiling enchantments that white tends to use. If they target this with like a Banishing Light and its power is at least 4, it gets exiled, its ability triggers on exile, gets to destroy a non-land permanent, and you can literally just destroy the Banishing Light and bring the Sir Vondam right back onto the battlefield, which is kind of insane. So nothing they do, even exiling this, stops the ability from triggering, as long as you get to 4+ power, which is just nuts. And if they don't deal with it, if they do deal with it, they're kind of getting 2 for 1, right? You get rid of their removal spell and their best permanent. If they don't deal with it, it just turns into an insane win condition over time. Vigilance and Menace is nuts, because the Menace makes it really, really hard for them to block this guy, especially when he gets way bigger, and the Vigilance makes it so that they can't just crack back and try to race us, because it's also a really, really big blocker, which makes it insane against aggro. Card is just nuts as long as you're in a deck that's constantly triggering it, and I have a few decks on the way that are using this guy because I think he's just that good, but this deck is perfect for that. We're also using another new card, Scout for Survivors. We're only running 2 copies because we're kind of just testing the waters, but I think this card is nuts. 3 mana for a sorcery, return up to 3 target creature cards with total mana value 3 or less from your graveyard to the battlefield, and put a +1/+1 counter on them. This card is super versatile because if you're just looking to sacrifice a bunch of stuff, you can bring 3 1-drops back. Each of them gets a counter. You can use them in combat or however you see fit, and then also have 3 more creatures for sacrifice fodder, which is kind of amazing. But you can also just use this to get back your huge value plays as well. You can get back a Sir Vondam and a 1-drop if you want. Start with a counter already on Sir Vondam from the Scout for Survivors, which is nice. You can also just use it to get back a Sephiroth when they kill your Sephiroth. Since this card has the biggest target on its back, it seems like a perfect possibility to target with the Scout for Survivors if all you need is some kind of sacrifice payoff to get there and win the game. Sephiroth being amazing, every time something dies, you get a drain trigger off of them. When he attacks or enters, you get to sacrifice something to draw a card and get that drain trigger. If you can trigger the drains 4 times in the same turn, you get to flip him into a crazy 5/5 flying monstrosity that can sacrifice a bunch of things, draw a bunch of cards, and you get an emblem that drains. This card just does everything, but it is always the first to die, so having a way to get it back with Scout for Survivors is really nice. We're also running 4 copies of the new Susurian Voidborn, which is another Blood Artist style effect, 3 mana for a 2/2, but you can warp it out for just 1 black mana so that you can get some death triggers a little bit earlier in the game, before you have the 3 mana to commit to hard casting it and keeping it on the field forever, which I actually think is really, really nice. Let's start at the bottom of the curve and work our way up with the rest of the deck. We're running both 4 copies of Corrupted Conviction and Desperate Measures. That's 8 1-mana draw spells that allow us to essentially sacrifice a creature and draw 2 cards. But there is a little caveat. With Desperate Measures, you don't actually sacrifice the creature. You give it +1/-1, and then when it dies, you draw 2 cards. So sometimes you can target your 2/2, swing in, get in for 3 damage, and then also use a Corrupted Conviction on it and end up drawing 4 cards off of 1 sacrifice, which can be insane. You can also just use Desperate Measures as a way to trade with an opponent's creature. If you're swinging in or blocking with a creature that has 1 less power than what you'd need to kill theirs, you Desperate Measures, not only do you get to draw the 2 cards, but it's actually better than sacrificing your thing because you also get to trade with a creature that you otherwise wouldn't be able to. And because we're running the 8 1-mana draw spells, we can run a little bit less land in this deck because we're always going to be drawing into the lands we need starting super early on the curve. We also have 2 copies of Embrace Oblivion, sack an artifact or creature, destroy a creature or spacecraft, 2 copies of Tragic Trajectory, give something -2/-2 for just 1 mana, but if you've triggered Void either by warping or something leaving the battlefield, on either player's side, this thing will give -10/-10 instead, which is going to basically be every turn of the game that you can trigger that, so really, really good removal in a deck like this. We've also got 4 copies of Greedy Freebooter and 4 copies of Infestation Sage. I think these are the best 1-drops as sacrifice fodder, and we do want at least 8 1-drop creatures that we can drop as early as turn 1 to start kicking things off as early as we possibly can. But in addition to those 8 cards, we also have another play set of creatures that can be played for 1 mana, and that's Timeline Culler. 2 mana 2/2 haste is already kind of good. You can warp it out for 1 black and 2 life so that you can get in for an extra 2 damage on turn 1 if you don't have one of these 1-drops to play. But more importantly, you can play this thing from the graveyard for its warp cost. And because you can just warp as many times as you want in the same turn, if you have a sacrifice outlet out and a payoff like Sephiroth or Susurian Voidborn, you can just keep paying 1 black mana to put this out on the battlefield, sacrifice it to drain, and rinse and repeat for every single black mana that you have, while also possibly attacking for 2 somewhere in the middle of all that. Card is just nuts. Just gives you endless access to sacrifice fodder over and over again while also being a somewhat aggressive card. absolutely love it, and it works perfectly with the brand new Umbral Caller Zealot, which we're also running a full playset of. A 3/2 human cleric for 2 mana, sacrifice another creature or artifact to surveil 1. Surveilling 1 isn't like the greatest payoff ever, but what's great about this card is the fact that it is a free sacrifice outlet, which means you can attack as many times as you want in the same turn for 0 mana, which is super important for getting 4 sacks to trigger Sephiroth to flip, or for just repeatedly sacrificing the Timeline Culler to drain out our opponent. There's so much value in the Umbral Caller Zealot, it's nuts. We're also running 1 copy of Bartolomé del Presidio, sort of as a 5th Umbral Caller Zealot, although arguably better than the Umbral Caller Zealot, because when we sack something to him, we get to put a +1/+1 counter on Bartolomé rather than surveilling. Sometimes surveilling is better, especially when we can stick a Timeline Culler in the graveyard, or if we need to dig for a very specific card in order to win the game. But a lot of times just getting counters built up on Bartolomé is also super good. We're also running 2 copies of Voice of Victory. This is a card that I'd like to run more of, but the deck is really tight, and I just don't think we have much room for more. And honestly, everything else we're doing is just so fine-tuned that I think 2 is all I can make room for. Possibly 3 in a future version might be nice, but being able to swing in every turn and mobilize and have that sack fodder, have those death triggers, is super nice. We've also just got 1 copy of Sothera the Supervoid at the top end. It's legendary, so I don't want to go too crazy with this card, and on some board states, it's not the best card ever, because as soon as your opponent has no creatures, you're forced to sacrifice this at the end of your turn. But if they're not out of creatures yet, Sothera can be an insane, almost like Damnation sort of sweeper in a way, where you play this out for 4 mana, and then every time you sack a creature, they have to exile 1. You can wipe their whole board this way, and then once you do at the end of your turn, this gets sacrificed, and you get to take any one of those creatures that you exiled, whichever one's the best one, put it back into play on your side with 2 additional +1/+1 counters on it. So this can sort of be... It can feel like a Damnation, it can sort of be a sweeper in the right circumstances, a sort of one-sided sweeper that's going to leave you your important value on your side. You only have to sacrifice your fodder, stuff like Timeline Culler or the 1-drops, or the tokens that we make with Mobilize. But then also, not only are we sort of one-sided sweeping, but we just get the best creature, and we get it with counters. So if you use Sothera right, it can be absolutely nuts. I think playing more than 1 copy would be a bit of a mistake, though, because it is legendary, and you have to be in the right situation in order to use it properly. But I think you'd be a fool to not at least run the 1 copy, because sometimes this card just is absolutely insane and can take over the entire game. But that's pretty much the deck. All we're running for lands is 16 dual lands, 4 Shadowy Backstreet, and 4 Godless Shrines, which turn on our 4 Bleachbone Verges, and then 4 Concealed Courtyard. There was a part of me that wanted to try to fit in a basic or 2 and a couple of the mono color mythic lands that came in the new set, but I think just keeping our mana consistent, because there are so many very specific mana costs and mana needs within this deck, is just going to make the deck better. So that's what I went with. This is the deck. I do think there's a little bit of room for upgrading this. Maybe in future versions we go up to 4 Sir Vondams, and I'd love to include a 3rd copy of Voice of Victory. But for the most part, this deck is just absolutely nuts. It slaps. It won like, I want to say like 17 out of like 20 games for us. It was an absolutely insane win rate, but don't take my word for it. Let's check out the games. I'm going to keep this. This looks good. I think we actually start with the Concealed Courtyard and the Freebooter. Worst case scenario, we can sack it next turn. The Verge. The Verge. I kind of like that on top. Swing for 1. End the turn. We'll sack it to a Desperate Measures or a Corrupted Conviction. Surveil 1. Outcaster Greenblade. Whoa. What is going on here? What is going on here? We're actually going to use Corrupted Conviction here instead of the Desperate Measures. What's great about Desperate Measures is if we've only got one counter on Sir Vondam, it can get it up to 4 power so that we can still kill something. Which is huge. Huge. Hello. How do we do this? I think we'll just do it like this. I want to make sure we can protect Sir Vondam. If we play a 1-drop, we don't have a way to sack it without using the Desperate Measures on that 1-drop, which means we can't get Sir Vondam to 4 power. But warping in the Voidborn means that it goes into exile at end of turn, he'll get a counter, we'll still have a mana. So if he tries to kill our Sir Vondam, in response, we use Desperate Measures on it. It becomes a 4/2, dies, kills something, and draws us 2 cards. The Hope S-Time deck sounds like a wild wackadoo roller coaster ride, Panthro. Mizizu. Hello. What else you got? You want to kill my Sir Vondam? I knew it. I knew it was coming. I knew it was only a matter of time. But do we kill the Green Blade or do we kill the Ghost Vacuum? That's the question. I think we gotta kill the Green Blade before he can put the Swiftfoot boots on it. Pretty good. Draw 2. And we've even got a Scout for Survivors, guys. I don't think we use it, though. I think we play another Sir Vondam. And we just play the Freebooter. We could warp in a Timeline Culler, which would hit for 2 and then put a counter on Sir Vondam at end of turn. If I were to Scout for Survivors, he'd just exile the Sir Vondam in response and we'd get not much value, so... But when this one dies, we can kill the Ghost Vacuum, and then we can bring it back with Scout for Survivors. We just need a way to sack it. I don't know if we have a way to sack it. just going ham. We do not attack with the Sir Vondam because we needed to go up. No matter what, it's going to get one counter at end of turn from the Timeline Culler. He's down to 2 cards. Probably eats our Greedy Freebooter. Yeah. It is what it is. Poor Scout for Survivors. Poor Scout for Survivors. Free Strider Lookout. Sure. Certainly trying. That's proof and haste. Do you wanna? Are you sure you don't wanna? Oh boy. Here we go. Tell me what you wanna block. Eh? Eh? Do it. You won't. Do it. Do it. You pansy. Give me that good. Do it! Do it! This guy doesn't know what to do. You clearly block the Voidborn and kill it. 100%. Probably also block the Infestation Sage. Anything that's only doing 1 damage, we sack beforehand, because we still do a damage, but we also gain a life. Timeline Culler's doing 2, so we will let it sit. Oh, but we also get to do an extra damage with Sir Vondam. Sack the Voidborn. And then we hit for 9. Play a tapped land and end the turn. So you're at 3. Ghost Vacuum away my Voidborn, almost definitely. But we've got another one coming, so we should be able to finish you off next turn. And we definitely play it before we crack the treasure, because this will trigger off artifacts as well. The only thing that's slightly worrying is he can activate the Ghost Vacuum to get everything back. Sir Vondam's only going to be a 1/1 though. So he's not going to be able to kill anything with it anytime soon. Two 1-drops in the yard. Hello, sir. We are playing a game of Magic the Gathering, which means you must make a decision and commit to that decision. You are not allowed to just sit there with that goofy a Johnny look on your face. That is not acceptable. Alright, Ghosty Vacuum, sure. He has to sack some of his own stuff so that he can get some life gain triggers. Warp it out. And we win. Sack the Timeline Culler. Play the Timeline Culler. Sack the Timeline Culler. Yep. This is how we do. Play the Timeline Culler. Sack the Timeline Culler. You're toast. Sorry, buddy. This looks pretty good, though. We'll keep it. Start with Concealed Courtyard. And we'll play Infestation Sage. Oh, he's got the weapons manufacturing. I think we just want to get out the Sir Vondam first and foremost. I'm going to guess he's got a chainsaw or a Legion extruder that he's going to kill the Sir Vondam with. But we've got Scout for survivors, so it's not the worst ever. Let's see if I'm right. Hey, there it is. There it is. Another one? I kind of feel like I want to set us up, though, with things on the battlefield first. If only we had another mana. If only we had another mana. Screw it. I'm just gonna play it. Another weapons manufacturing and a Clockwork Percussionist. Black's not as good as white for this deck, but I appreciate the sentiment of what he's trying to do. We need Sir Vondam to kill a weapons manufacturing, or things are going to get really problematic really quick. So we're gonna do this. Trigger. Draw some cards. Oh, no land? Really? Really? There's some land. Alright, we'll attack for 4. Don't have a lot of options, do we? Alright, now if he kills Sir Vondam, we nuke a weapons manufacturing, which is nice. We're gonna have to get our drains popping because... oh boy. So it dies before the Rottenmouth Viper's on the battlefield, which is honestly pretty key. He's kind of out of gas. So I don't think we worry about the weapons manufacturing. I think we just try to vomit out a whole bunch of drains onto the field to recover our life and get him down. We will discard that. I want to be able to trade with the Ginger Brute. Less value for you, my friend. Quiet down. Quiet. Alright, we're going to scout for survivors, get a Sir Vondam. Get a Greedy Freebooter. Now we need stuff to die. So we play Umbral, Caller, Zealot. We pass the turn. Bo, quiet down. We do not pass to attacks, thank you very much. We sack the Freebooter. Yeah, we'll bottom it. Dump you. Oh, you know what? I should have kept it on top so I could dump it. That would have been great. And now we'll sack Sir Vondam to eat the Viper. Would you like to swing, sir? No blocks. We want to try to race him at this point because he's out of gas. He's got a Rust Harvester. Gets 2 more. But I don't know if he has enough. I don't know if he has a way to, I don't think he has a way to sack him, you know? Scout for survivors. Sir Vondam. Greedy Freebooter. Warp you in. And then we could kill something if we wanted. Do we need to kill that Rust Harvester? That's the real question. I think, yeah. I think we do. Trigger our Voidborn. Pass the turn. Get another counter on Sir Vondam. We just need him to not draw away to sacrifice his munitions, and we're fine. I think we win. Do it like that. Get rid of the land. Get another counter. Keep the tragic trajectory. Kill the thing. Clockwork Percussionist. He just doesn't have enough sack outlets. That's his main issue. Get another counter. We'll keep you. Card draw is wonderful. I think we hold on to the tragic trajectory for now. We'll swing for 6, and then we'll have lethal next turn. Okay. That's fine. Alright, he's got a starting town. And another weapons manufacturing. Okay, good game. Desperate time calls for desperate measures. One lander might not seem fine, but this is actually pretty fine. We can play out the Freebooter. We can sack it next turn to corrupt a conviction to draw into lands and get a treasure. There's no way he blocks the Freebooter. Corrupted Conviction. We have to find land, so I gotta bottom it. There's another land. And, I mean... I guess we'll just slow him down, right? Makes sense to me. We're gonna have our third land next turn, so we don't have to worry about mana anymore. We're going to play Voice of Victory and warp out a Timeline Culler. Analyzing the Pollen. Smash for 2. Next turn's gonna be sick. What you gonna do? Overlord. Ooh, that's real slow. That is real slow. Get you to 12. 3 triggers on Sir Vondam makes him a 5/5. And if he kills or exiles Sir Vondam, he loses one of his permanents. And we're just going to do it again next turn. We'll warp out a Voidborn. Swing. Hit for a lot. Sack one of the tokens. Yeah, he's over. It's done. It's a done deal. Alright, this actually looks pretty awesome. We're gonna keep it. Start with the Concealed Courtyard and the Freebooter. Go Umbral Collar Zealot on turn 2. Sagu Wildling. End the turn. Pass. Oh. Oh. It'd be like that. Sephiroth. Some little drainies. Sure, we can do that on top. Let's do this. Since I'm not worried about our health. Sack it to drain and get it in the graveyard so that we can warp it later. If he had creatures on the field, I would have saved the treasure for Sothera. But he doesn't. On a green, huh? And you didn't kill my Sephiroth. You are out of your mind, sir. Alright, so we will sack to draw. That's one. Alright. Two. Three. Four. So we can flip it. And survive against Fenrir. And then his dude dies. And then we sack the Sephiroth and we win. That seems fine to me. This looks great. We're gonna keep it. This card's just crazy, man. This card is just crazy. We're going to start with the Zealot. I don't want to lose my Sir Vondam before it can use its ability, so we're not going to put it at risk to removal. I was tempted to cast Sephiroth there, but I don't think it would have been the right call. Bottom that. Get rid of that. I think we'll play the Greedy Freebooter and keep the treasure for now and the turn. Next turn we can warp in the Voidborn and play the Sephiroth, which actually seems really, really strong. Really, really strong. Oh, you got your own Sephiroth, do you? Alright, alright. So we warp in the Voidborn. We attack. Two damage. Well, if that's the case, we're gonna do this. We'll draw some cards. We'll hit for more damage. Put him at 8. And then I guess we just play Bartolomé and hold up Desperate Measures. We didn't get to play our own Sephiroth. It's kind of tricky figuring out the right play lines when the opponent has one as well. I think we're just too far ahead, though. You can't swing. We really need to draw some cards, man. We're gonna sack the Umbral Caller Zealot. Go down to 20. He's gonna block it. I guess we probably want to do this. And we'll do this. So that we get to trade with Sephiroth and we get to draw a card. And we might be able to just kill him here. Pretty dang close. Reassembling Skeleton. Unstoppable Slasher. Yeah, that's just not enough. We'll warp this out. Decline. I think we got you. 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝑡's got Menace. Oh boy. 2 tap lands out of 4 in the whole deck. What are the chances? And no real 1-drops. Let's mulligan. This is fine. Put back, I guess, Infestation Sage. Start with the Backstreet. Dump the Sothera. We need to get to land, unfortunately. Well, at least we got land. Voice of Victory. Glad there's no cut down in Standard anymore. That's fine. That's quacktastic. What else you got for me? More removal? Figures. That's fine. You keep doing you. I'm going to push through you eventually. I'm going to run you over when I come back down. Let's draw a card. Another Tithing Blade. What else you got? A third one? Yep. Crazy. You're crazy, man. You're crazy, man. Alright. Play this Sir Vondam. Swing for 2. Exile, put a counter. He better be out of removal now. So I need to get this thing to 4. Don't you dare. Okay. I will accept that. Embrace Oblivion. Goodbye. And then we will Void Warp the Timeline Culler in and swing for 6. Put you at 9. And Sir Vondam will then go up to 5. And if you kill him, you lose your Annex. not enough. Weird that he didn't draw before sacking to the Legion Extruder. He could have drawn a 4-drop. You know? On top of spaghetti. All covered in cheese. Welcome to 3. What you got? Surveilling away. Surveilling away. Tithing Blade, huh? Interesting. I mean, we're definitely stacking the Bartolomé. This thing just wins if you don't get a second blocker. And if you kill it, we at least take out your annex. You got a Timeline Culler. He's gonna have to double block and lose them both, and it's gonna feel so good. And then he's gonna go to 1. It's got Menace. 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 He's so upset. I know it. He's so mad. Alright, now it goes up to an 8/8. Even if he deals with my board, we haste in the Timeline Culler for the win. If he doesn't get out a demon, he kills himself with his annex. Okay. But, you need a demon. Why didn't he just sack his Legion Extruder first? I don't get it. I don't get it. But okay. Oh yeah, he didn't unlock the 1 black mana. And that's it. If we had some of the card draw spells, I'd keep it, but we don't, so I can't. Keep 6. I guess we can put back Scout for Survivors. We'll start with a tapped Godless Shrine since we don't have anything to play on 1. Pickaxe, sure. Voice of Victory. Case of the Filch Falcon. See what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do. I see what you're trying to do. We're gonna warp this in. Swing. Hit for 3. Drain for 2. Get 2 counters on the Vondam, and then Voidborn gets exiled to get another one. That is pretty damn strong. Poetic Glyph on the Diamond Pickaxe. That is certainly something. Well, that thing is toast, so let's do this. Let's do this. Can we get the minus removal, please? No. You don't like us enough to let us do that. We'll swing in. We're going to lose the Voice of Victory, but I think it's worth it. We'll put them at 6. And then we'll sack these. And we got some real big boys. Some real big boys. Embrace Oblivion's kinda useless to us right now. Rust Harvester. Hello there. Lotus Ring. This deck's wild. This deck is wild. I like this guy. Oh man. Off meta gaming. Love him. This seems fine. We'll keep this. I think we actually start with the Godless Shrine so we can get the Freebooter out there. So let's do that. What's more important, that we play the Umbral Caller Zealot this turn, or that we play Sephiroth next turn? Probably Sephiroth next turn. Let's do this. We'll go Shadowy Backstreet. We can keep that on top, because we've got Sothera coming. Swing for 1. Play an Infestation Sage. Seems fine to me. Ancient Cornucopia. Cornucopium. Swing 2. We'll play Sephiroth. Sack the Freebooter. Draw a card. Keep the Infestation Sage on top. Warp you in. Hello? Hello, sir. Counter a creature spell. I mean, that's fine. We'll play Sothera. We'll sack the Sage to draw, which will trigger the Sothera. He has to exile the Fangkeeper's Familiar. And then at the end of the turn, we get the Fangkeeper's Familiar with 2 counters on it, and we gain 3 life and surveil 3. Looks good to me. Timeline Culler in the yard. Hello, sir. Welcome to the rest of your life. Really? You're gonna counter the Timeline Culler. which I can literally just play again right now. And I will. That's 1. That's 2. Well, we can only get 2. It's okay though, we'll get the rest next time. Fabled Passage. What do you got for 6? Do you have the wipe the board mill thing? Rang River region. Get back the Fangkeeper's familiar. Get rid of my Sephiroth? I don't know if that was actually a good idea. I don't know. Alright, we'll swing. Whatever he blocks, we corrupted conviction away. He takes 3, goes to 3. And we have a Sir Vondam out. We do not need more mana. Thank you. And look at all the payoffs we have in our hand. Let's rock! What's up, Frozen? Welcome to the stream. Thank you for the follow. This deck's just disgusting. Absolutely disgusting. So we'll warp out the Voidborn. Play the Freebooter. Sephiroth. Go ahead, counter it. Do it. Do it, old maid. Make a copy. And counter, right? That's pretty good. So if he blocks them, they die and trigger the Voidborn. He goes to 2. End the turn. So he's down to 2. I'm pretty sure we have everything we need to make this work. Do this. He wants to do Fangkeeper's familiar. That's what he wants. Okay, there it is. Goes up to 9. That is kind of a problem. How do we win this? It's gonna go to 7. Sweet. I played Paper a lot back then too, Frozen. The control one? Are you talking about the one that I uploaded today? The Boros control, red and white? Man, this is tricky. I think we actually want to keep that on top. Goes down to 7. And we'll get the Umbral Collar Zealot out there. Goes down to 6. Yeah, that deck's nuts. I might be going back to that deck in a little bit to rank up. Swinging with his dudes. He's probably going to wipe the board. No? What is he doing? I have no idea, man. I have no idea what he's doing. Those cards need sleeves. You're not wrong. I think this guy's got us. We just didn't get there quick enough. He's gaining too much life off the cornucopias. Then again, probably just replay everything. Right? Sure. So we warp. Play the Zealot. You. Drain. I think he's just got too many flyers. Drain. Like, we can get close. We just can't quite get there. Like, we could have sacked the Voidborn to get him down to 5 and put us up at 12, but he's still got 18 in the air. This looks fine. We'll keep it. I'd like to just warp out a Timeline Culler and get in for 2, but I think we need to get a Shadowy Backstreet out of the way. So that's what we're gonna do. Problem is now he can steal our Timeline Culler if he wants. He could just swing with the tiny bones and then play it. But he didn't realize. So that's good for us. Do we just play Sir Vondam? I don't think so. I think we just get out some of our value pieces, or some of our enablers, or some of our, yeah, enablers. Sir Vondam. Let's go. Corrupted Conviction on the Greedy Freebooter. Let's put that on the bottom. Another Sir Vondam, huh? Interesting. Do what I wanted to do. Let's just pass the turn. Wow, no hits off the Dark Confidant. Bloodletter of 𝐒𝐿𝐴𝐿𝐼𝐋𝐄𝑑. So we're going to go here and here. And we're going to Desperate Measures the Sir Vondam, which is going to get it to 4 power. It's going to trade with his dude and then trigger its ability. Kill the Bloodletter. And we get to draw 2. Would you look at that? Would you just look at it? Play another Sir Vondam. How do I want to do this? Timeline Culler. Swing. End the turn. Let it get exiled. Put a counter on Sir Vondam. Pass. Make it really hard for you to attack. You go down to 10. Again, we're holding up Desperate Measures. If he tries to kill Sir Vondam, we draw 2 cards and kill something. Which is really, really good. Really, really good. 𝐀𝐫𝐞𝐧𝐚, Umbral God. Interesting. Since it's gonna die anyway, we'll draw some cards off of it. He has to sack one of his dudes. What do we have in here? Six indestructible. I don't think we can kill that. I don't think we can kill it. It's not yet. Pass the turn. Sir Vondam has Menace, so he's a really good win condition. I'm pretty sure we can chump block Zodiark all day. And then just crack back with Sir Vondam. Deep cavern bed, sure. Another dark compliment. You don't want to swing? You don't want to swing. Sack the Greedy Freebooter, that's one. One, two, three. Get back you, and you. With Scout for Survivors. That's two. Don't really care how many counters you get. I'm pretty sure I'm going to be killing you. Put you in the graveyard, Sephiroth. Bring out the Timeline Culler. Let's go. So we get in for 2 here. Put him at 4. So yeah, we just win. That's just over. It's just over, buddy. Thanks so much for checking out my channel. I'd like to give a huge shout out to all of my patrons over at Patreon. Without you guys, this channel would not be possible, so honestly, thank you from the bottom of my heart for all of your contributions. If you haven't yet, like and subscribe. The more likes we get and the quicker we get them, the bigger this channel will grow and the faster it will grow. I'd love nothing more than this channel to become something very special for you guys, but it's entirely up to you how fast that happens. Also, if you'd like more deck techs, that's somewhere over there. And if you'd like to see what else the channel's been up to lately, that's somewhere up that way. Also, subscribe, circle below, do all the things.